Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Here we have an example of a person, a president of a country, which is President Macron of France, showing up in front of the French nation at the beginning of the World Championship, Rugby World Cup, and he is booed by the entire stadium, by his own people. And he's going to smirk, he's going to smile, he's going to be a little bit embarrassed if you look at his eyes, but he's going to continue with his bullshit. Now, I'm going to show you the video, and then we're going to discuss how democracy got things so wrong. And tell me if he's wrong, the public is wrong, they're both wrong, who's wrong and who's right. We're going to discuss that. So let me show you this article. This comes from Russia Today, September 9th, 2023. Macron booed at Rugby World Cup opening ceremony. The angry reaction was attributed to the controversial pension reform implemented earlier this year. To tell you the truth and directly, this booing gave me hope for the French nation, that with all the media apparatus and all the weasels in their political sphere, they get it. They know who's in charge, and they're angry. They can't do anything. They have to wait, work within the system. Yeah, let me show you. Here is the weasel right here, and I'm going to make it big like this, and I'm going to start it. So look at his mouth. And then please look at his smirk and eyes, and obviously listen to the booing. Ready, set, go.
Emmanuel Macron va donc maintenant prendre la parole.
Amis du rugby, pour nous tous.
Now, what would you do, my friends, if you were this guy? First, he doesn't have the imperium anymore. He doesn't have the right to rule. He is by the rules, the current rules, but he is like a king. He was the one who increased the age of retirement in France. He himself, and only himself. That law was supposed to be voted in the parliament, in the French parliament. He bypassed that. He just took it from them, signed it, and said it's legal, because in the French constitution it's legal for him to do that. So he bypassed the number of elected officials because only one decided for the whole country. And what can they do? Nothing. The constitutional court in France says legal. The opposition and everybody covered for this guy, including the mass media. Now we have here a little problem, and which is, he knows, I think this guy, Macron, he knows that he's not loved, but he doesn't care. You know why? Because you can't do anything to him, and he knows that, and that's why those guys are also angry. So remember, I think he's in the 30s with his 20s, 30s, maximum 35 with his approval rating. That means he doesn't have imperium. He doesn't have the authority to rule in the name of majority. Isn't that what the democratic system says? Principles. So he doesn't have the majority, and he continues to be over there. And people say, well, you know what? You have to work within the system. That means wait 4 more years or 3 more years, and then another guy is going to show up like this one, or maybe this one, because he's working on changing that to be able to be elected 3 times. He's working at that. So another weasel like this guy is going to show up right there, and this guy is going to show up, is going to show you a list. This is what I'm going to do for you, French nation. Okay? Je suis un asshole. Je suis un asshole. Okay? And you don't know that yet. He's going to say, this is the list for you. I'm going to work for you here. And people vote. And then as soon as he gets in the office, he takes his list, wipes his ass with it, and pulls the real list. And you don't know that list. You think he's still got this one. And that's the list of others. And then when you realize, you're going to get angry, you're going to boo, but you can't change him. Because there would be insurrection, there would be overthrow, there would be coup, it's illegal, he's going to put the army to shoot you. So what do you think? You can't destabilize France. That's illegal. So you got to work within the system. That is, wait another 4 years for another cute guy like this guy. He's going to show you another list. You're going to vote for the list. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to come with a real list. This is democracy. And the mass media covers for this guy. Covers. He knows he fooled you. Like these guys here, they fooled us. They know. And the population over there, the French nation, knows that. They're angry. They can't do shit. But they know it. So that's why he's smirking. Now we have this option. Maybe Macron is right. And the whole France or all that stadium is an idiot. Is it possible? Not impossible. But really, why? Because we have the Galileo Galilei example, which Galileo Galilei was right and all these guys were wrong. And he was only one. Well, you take Giordano Bruno and a few more, maybe, then that's it. But not too many. The great majority thought, the sun or the universe revolves around the planet Earth, because that's the most important thing created by God. Therefore, everything revolves around the Earth. Anyway, so we have that one. And Galileo Galilei was right. Now, I don't think that Macron is Galileo Galilei. It's not impossible, but very unlikely. Why? Because we know what he did. It's not like Galileo Galilei. We don't know. Majority did not know. They just got the Bible, and it was the other model. It escapes me. The other model of cosmology or whatever. I can't remember. It was a Greek name. Copernicus comes, but Copernicus was not. Copernicus was a Polish guy, wasn't he? I can't remember his name right now. I know it's. But anyway, forget it. I mentioned it in other videos. So he might be Galileo Galilei, but I don't think so. He increased that pension reform by himself. Not only. Remember when that was the last riot in Paris? Remember with that guy who was killed by the police, shot and so on? The mass media, the politicians, with the exception of that Algerian, born in Algeria, he's a Zelensky. I think he's a communist, isn't he? A socialist? Anyway, who's not in France, you might say. No, he's not a socialist, isn't he? I can't remember his name. I can find it, but you can. My French people know exactly who I'm talking about. The Algerian guy that is of a certain kind of origin, not Algerian or French. And anyway, he's part of the French nation. So not only that guy talked about what's going on over there in what happened. The mass media, the politicians, why did these guys shoot that kid? Why were there riots? What's going on? They picked everything but the main thing. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. The main thing. They just jumped around it. But when they made an opinion poll on what they think was the reason, if all that French nation was not idiot again. So what are we going to do with this democracy, my friends? Because obviously these guys show you this, and then they pull out this, and then you have to work within the system, and they do it over and over and over again, and the mass media covers for them. How can we change them? It's like, for instance, you have a police chief, let's say, and he's committing a crime, and you can't do anything with him until he finishes his, tenure or something as a police chief or something like that. His contract, kind of like that. I mean, we don't call them crimes here, but he's doing, I know that the French nation opinion polls were 80% against that reform. How in the hell this guy with about 25% approval rating, Macron, wrote that, signed that bullshit against the 80% of the population, the French people? What's that? And he knows it. He knows it, and he knows that the French nation can do this to him. All right? If Brigitte doesn't want to do it anymore. All right? She's too busy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.